Okay folks, episode 10 in the series Who Do I Watch on YouTube? And this one has been re-recorded, and if I remember to tell you why, I'll tell you why at the end. I better forget, but I'll try to remember. Okay, right. I did a video last Thursday evening at 8:30 saying why did I start a YouTube channel. I would suggest that anybody that watches this video about the channel I'm now going to review, if I do say anything negative about this channel, I'm not saying I will, I'm not giving anything away just yet, but if I do, have a look at that video that I recorded on Thursday last week. Why did I start a YouTube channel? Right, my name's Dave, more commonly known as Britain's grumpiest old git, because I am, though not always. I have a small channel, a relatively small channel, in that there UK. That's been going just a few months now. The story behind this, before I get to the review, I'll get to the review in a minute. You'll know who the channel's about because you'll have seen it on your thumbnail. This mainly isn't for my subscribers. They've seen some of the series already and they'll know the preamble I'm going to give. It's for you that follow the channel I'm going to review, that don't know me and haven't seen this preamble before. We have reviewed a few other channels in the series. It's 11. The series is 11 episodes in length. There's actually 13 YouTube channels on there. We did one half an hour ago that's got 2 channels. I did one yesterday that's reviewing 2 channels. This one is just the 1 channel. Right, I started looking at YouTube about 22 months ago. I was looking at something there, a sporting series I wanted to see on YouTube. And as I'm flicking through, I found something that interested me in Tenerife. Because over the last 10 or 15 years, I've been 7 or 8 times. It's a place I like. It's not my favourite place in the world. It's definitely one of my favourites. One of my favourite 2 or 3 places. And for that reason, I've gone pretty regularly. I normally stay in Costa Adeje, as it turns out. I say normally, I always do about once. I like the area very much. Seeing this channel, not the one I'm going to review, but another channel, I liked it. Started watching that channel, started seeing a few more. Of this series, this 11-part series, of the 13 channels, the bulk of them are in Tenerife, because it's got a massive percentage of vloggers there. Everybody and the dog's doing it. Some I like, some I don't like at all, and some I absolutely love. More about which as you watch the varying things as you do. I'm not telling you where I fall on this channel just yet, although by the end you will know. So I started watching these various channels, and then about 12 or 14 months ago I thought, a bit like Yozza Use, that'll go over the heads of many. I could do that. And I'm looking at another job, another career. I've got a normal 9-to-5 job like most of us have. I'm of an age now where I want an extra income, could be this, but I'm more so than that at an age where I'd like to be finishing my other job, curtailing it, and still having an income. I'm hoping it's this. I say I'm relatively small, but from small acorns grow and all that palaver, I'm hoping to get bigger. Before we go any further, you can see what I'm working from. Just a little studio here in the north of England. Did somebody say bedroom then? It's a studio, I'll have you know. Never mind bedroom. Anyway, on this channel there's nothing other than me. No graphics, no music, no editing. I don't do any. 2 reasons for that. One is I'm too lazy. And number 2 is, I'm the world's biggest technophobe, and I am, and I really can't do it. Probably if I wanted to learn it I could, but I've not got the time. Back to the laziness. The other reason I would suggest, I need to plug in, the other reason I would suggest that I'm not as on the ball as I should be, see, this is how I work, this is me, I'm not like anyone else. The other reason I would suggest that I don't have what everybody else has is because I am working full time. I'm sorry about this. I do have a full-time job. I say full-time job, it's like a 7-8 day a week job. 7-8 day a week, a 5 day a week job, like a normal 9-to-5 job. A lot of what I do is done early mornings, late evenings or weekends. For all I'm saying I've got a 5 day a week job, I often work from home so I can steal an hour or so here or there. But although it doesn't look it, I put a bundle into this channel. And say a bundle, I do loads and loads of research. Even though when the videos go out, they're pretty basic. It's just me talking to you. I do a range of subjects. I do everything. I do sport, loads of different kinds of sports and sporting people, TV, radio, film, politics. Cover loads of subjects. I would suggest in the 8 months I've been going, there's been nobody probably on YouTube as proficient as me. That might be the wrong word for how many videos they're putting out, what kind of content they're putting out. I put out bundles. I do 4 or 5 videos per day. Sometimes very short ones, sometimes a bit longer. An average day is 8 or 9, and I've been known to do 11, 12, 13 videos before, but that's only very rare, but I've been known to do it. If there's 13 subjects to cover, one way or another I get them covered, but I work till God knows when doing it, but I do it. It's just what I do. But all it is me talking, and all it is my opinion, and all I can give people is my opinion. What you get with me is an honest opinion, and I mean honest to the nth degree. There's a few channels that I've covered and I'm going to cover that talk about honesty all the time, and I think they are honest within reason, but not 100% honest. This is, and I assure you of that. When I talk about the channel I'm going to review in a minute, it comes from what I believe from a place of 100% honesty. There's absolutely no jealousy or envy involved at all. There's no badness involved at all, and I wish everybody that I'm reviewing nothing but success. I've got no bad feelings towards anybody, but I tell the truth, and some people will not like it. So to that end, what I'm going to say is this: I have this that I show everybody. I'm going to show it you. You can hold it if you want it. You don't need to hold it, because I'm going to read it in a minute. You can hold it if you want, and that's what it says. But I read it to everyone, so God knows why I hold it up, but I do. It says, if you've just watched my review on a channel that you follow, that is this review that I'm going to do now on the channel that you follow, presented by a presenter that you no doubt love, not me, the person that presents the channel I'm going to review, you'll love them because you've been with them weeks, months, or even years now. Please, this is me saying please, I'm saying this to you, please, and I mean this, please, before having a go at me, just watch my video, why did I start a YouTube channel that I posted a week ago, and it tells you all you need to know about me and why I started it. Now, but basically, if you don't watch that, I watch these video channels, as I say, for the last 20 months, different channels. I watch some more than others. I'm not going to say how much I watch this one I'm going to review, but some more than others. I like some more than others. I've took tips from this and not from that, something from this and not from that, and that from all that I've garnered from all of them, or bits I've not wanted to. I've made what I've made of myself, and that's where we're at now. But as I say, anything I say is going to have no nastiness in there at all. The reason I've shown that is, us Brits are a weird bunch, we really are. If I talk about this channel now, or any of the others I've done in the series, and I say 10 things about the channel, and 2 are negative and 8 are positive, what we will do as Brits is, the 2 that I've said negative is what you'll focus on. And I'll have the keyboard warriors saying, you're awful, you're this, you're that, he's brilliant, or she's brilliant, he's better than you, she's better than you, because that's what we do. I don't get it, but it's what we do. There might be 8 positive things and 2 negative. We don't look at the positive. We don't think he said this, but he likes it. He said lots of good things here. We look at the bad, and that's wrong, but we do it. So just realise that if I do say anything bad, there's going to be plenty good there as well. And I might say nothing bad. There's a couple of channels I've reviewed. I've said nothing bad about at all. I can't find anything. There's a channel or 2 I've reviewed, and it's nearly all badness. But I've done what I see fit, and I've done what I believe in. By the same token, anybody can support a channel and have a pop at me. My comment section is always open and always will be. No comments have ever, to this day, been wiped, not even one comment. And I've got some trolls, do they call them, like others have. I've got a couple of, especially, I just don't message them back, and in the end they'll go. Or they'll pretend to be somebody else and come back. But when they're really, really, really nasty, I just don't message them. Let them carry on doing it. If they want to do that, well, good luck to them. I've never barred anyone, ever, and I never will. I nearly barred somebody the other week, because somebody was having a pop at a young lady that was coming on the channel. And if she'd have said to me, or if there'd have been one other time it happened and it didn't, I was going to message her and say, look, is this person bothering you being on it? Because if he is, I don't want to bar him for me, but I'll bar him so he's not sending things to you, because I don't want you visiting my channel and you getting browbeaten by this person when you're doing no wrong. All you're doing is commenting on my channel. He never did anything else, so she didn't come on, so I've not done it. But I would have done that. So I'd have done it for somebody else, wouldn't have done it for me. I've got a thick skin, I don't mind what people say. And I say to everybody, if I call any presenter on a channel, be it male or female, they can call me thinning on top. Bags under my eyes, grey bags, teeth not like I'd like them to be, although I'm very hygienic, I promise you. You know, I look after myself as best I can. But we've all got problems. You know, a bit more overweight than I'd like to be. I've been on a diet and I've lost some weight. I could do without them there. It's a fella's thing. I never had them since I was 35. They've been with me for God knows how long. They're going to be with me till the day I die. It's life. These things happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, there is, but there isn't at the same time. So, that's me. You now know me. I'll tell you about my channel. I wanted to start about a year ago. Couldn't for many reasons. It actually started in March of last year. I struggle to say last year because we've only just passed. but it actually put its first video out mid to end of April, so we're about 8 months old. As of last week, we're on about 1,270 subscribers. Not a lot, I know, like I said, small channel, but from small acorns grow and all that. But I'm over the moon with that in such a short time because I'm a channel that's different than anybody else's. Oh, I can't believe that, I'm different than anybody else's, number one. I would do a cut a phone call off, I'd do it like that. I'm different than any other channel, that's firstly. And secondly, I've not had any friends, relations, I've not had anybody pushing my channel with anybody else. I've not had it at all. I've just not had that. It's all grown, as they say, organically. I think that's what they say. The channel I'm going to look at today, you know what it is, you've seen it in the thumbnail. It's Andrew's channel, the KNIGHTSTRIDER. Andrew, now as of this time last week when I looked, Andrew had, where is he? Started in March 2020, so he's what, 3 years old? 4 years, is it 4 years this? 1, 2, 3. Is it 4 years? It'd be 4 years this March, I think. 71,400 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic. Growing at a great rate of knots. So he's doing really, really, really well. Right. When did I start watching Andrew and what do I think of his channel? Right, here we go. I started watching Andrew probably about November 22, it would have been, maybe. It'd have been about the third or fourth channel I started to watch. And I used to watch it a fair bit at one time. I've since watched it a hell of a lot less. I watch bits now and again, but not as much. And I'll tell you the reasons why, and I'll tell you what I think of the channel as well. In fact, we'll go with what I think of the channel. Firstly, graphics, great. Thumbnails, great. Does a bit of this, what they call clickbaiting. I've no problem with it. I don't know why people not either. No problem at all. Graphics great, music great, pictures great, editing great, quality of picture great. Everything about it great. A lot of what he does and where he goes to, which is probably I've stopped watching it in the main, he's very, very samey. He does much very, very samey now. And after a while, you get bored of the same, I suppose. And that's probably it with me. There are things I'm not as keen as well, which I'll go through in a minute. But what other things did we have? What things did I like? Some of the locations he goes to, the places he goes to, I really, really like. I like a lot of the stuff when he goes to America, because I love America. I used to go there a lot when I was younger, not as much of late. And he takes me to some places that I know, some places that I like. I like some of the reviews he does of hotels and hotel rooms. I think they're very informative. The pictures are very good. Always crystal clear. I like them. Love the stuff he does in villas. Really, really like it. Because I've stayed in villas like that in America. Some of the things about the villas aren't for me, but most of them are. Really like them. And I like the reviews he's done there. A lot of informative stuff. Does lots of stuff in Tenerife about the weather. About things like the muggings, the threats, the car break-ins. I don't mind him doing any of that. In fact, I covered this yesterday, day before, in another video, because there's been a lot recently in Tenerife since the weekend where we've had one Tenerife vlogger calling another vlogger for a post he's done in a restaurant in Tenerife, saying he went too far, he shouldn't have done it, it can affect Tenerife business, and if he didn't like the food, he should have just walked out and not reviewed it. I agreed with a lot of what he said, understood where he was coming from. However, if the video in question is the one I've seen, I've said this already, but I'm going to say it again for those of you that's not seen my take on it. If it's the restaurant I think it is, they weren't really, really nasty with the ratings. They just give honest opinions. And at the end, they said this place is normally brilliant. The breakfasts here are fantastic and the dinner's fantastic. There's Sunday dinner. So I thought, well, they've said nothing wrong there. Now, that's if that is the restaurant. I don't know if it is. They did another restaurant 3 days earlier that I was in the full video called the Ginger Pig. They all gave it 10 out of 10, said it was fantastic, out of this world. So I'm thinking, well, if they think a restaurant's not that good and the food isn't up to scratch, they should be able to say it, especially if on the other side of the coin they've been to a restaurant, they've all given it 10 out of 10, think it's brilliant. And they did say about the restaurant I'm thinking that's the one in question, normally, most of the rest of the food is absolutely fantastic. Thought they did nothing wrong. Some of the same people are saying that Andrew is doing a bit of scaremongering and stuff for clickbait and for more subscribers. Well, I would say two things to that, and I said it yesterday. The thing is, Andrew's only telling you what's happening there, I think, from what I can see. There is the odd bug in there, and there is the odd person, that's getting fleeced. And he doesn't want it to carry on happening. Some people are saying because of it, on the back of that, people are cancelling holidays. I find that very hard to believe. but it might be true. Some people are saying he's doing things for clickbait. As I say, Andrew tends to get 20, 25, 30,000 for nearly every video he does. Same as the other fellow that's done the hot restaurant review. I did notice the restaurant review I looked at had about 5,000 or 6,000 more. Andrew on this video about the muggins and stuff has got about 40, 45,000 views as of yesterday. The average for most of these is say 30,000, so he's got a bit more. But I don't think Andrew, with 71,000 subscribers, as successful as he is, earning the money that and I would imagine he's earning, which is probably reasonably good on top of his other businesses, I don't think he needs to clickbait things to get more views. What I'm saying, I don't think he's out wrong with what he put on there. I don't think it's clickbait to me. I think he's got a bit more views. What it might do is bring a couple of viewers in that hasn't seen his channel before. He might get the odd extra subscriber. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Anything wrong at all. He's just saying what's going on there. I've got no problem with that at all. What I will say, and I said this yesterday, I think he may have sensationalised it a little bit. He could have been a bit harder in saying, look, these things are happening at cash machines. If you've got any sense, don't go to the cash machine at evening. Go at daytime hours. And get your husband, if it's a lady stood next to you, guarding you, and get the money straight in your purse, your bag, whatever it may be. If you've got money, don't take it all out with you at night. Leave a lot of it in the safe and just take out what you need. If you've got better jewellery, leave your better jewellery inside at night time, take it out in the daytime, or don't come over here with it at all. He could have also said, look, there are muggins, there's been 2 or 3 in the last 2 or 3 days, which is more than the norm, but it still is only 2 or 3, there's lots and lots of people here, but I'm not stupid. I know there's lots of it goes on in Britain. I know there'll be lots in all resorts all over Europe. I know there will be. There'll be loads of them. But I just want to highlight what's happening here because I live here. It's what I'm all about. And if you're coming over, I just want you to know it. Be extra vigilant. He could have pushed all that side of things, and he didn't push that side of things enough. He pushed the actual mugging side of things, the theft side of things, more than saying, look, these things are happening everywhere. He did mention that, but he didn't push that side of it much. He pushed the wrong side of it for my money. But I think he did nothing wrong. He's mentioned things in the past 6-8 months ago now about cars being broken into. There was a spate of them. They've seen the valuable in there and they've done the car in. He'll know more about that because he's got his own car hire place. He highlighted a few of them happening in Costa Rica. I was glad about that because I normally stay in Costa Rica. As it turns out, I never get a car in Tenerife. But if I did, I'm happy to know that. So I think he's doing a valuable service. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think there's a bit of jealousy towards Andrew's channel, mainly because he's done so well for himself. He's been going only a few years. His subscription levels are really high. He's doing really, really well. What I will say on one side of it is he deserves it because he works really, really hard. And his output is quality. Okay? That's where I'll end it because this is where it goes a bit negative now. So you that love him will be saying, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to... Look, there's been rumours of a falling out he's had with another YouTuber, a YouTuber who's supposed to have started him up, and then they fell out. He's got nothing to do with him. Everybody knows who it is, so I don't need to mention the names because everybody and the dog knows. But it might be a 6 of one and a half dozen the other. We don't know any sides of the story really. But he does come across as somebody maybe that's had a lot of help and forgotten about it. I also note that a few people have knocked Andrew before. I think part of it's a jealousy thing, but part of it might be his personality in that I've also heard YouTubers praise him for his content, praise him for the numbers he's getting behind him, and saying good things about him. I've never ever heard Andrew say anything good about any other YouTuber. I can't remember it, but I've not seen every video. A lot of his fans will have seen everything. I don't see everything anymore. I've never heard him praise anybody, but I've heard people praise him, so it's all very one-sided. I think if he was a bit more even-handed, he'd do even better. But I think there's some jealousy there, as I say. But I don't mind him letting people know what's happening in the island. He lives there, and he's got every right to do it. He's a YouTuber. He can put on his channel what he wants to. Other YouTubers do. So other you put what they want to, so they shouldn't call him for what he puts out there. Because what I will say is this. I don't hear him calling other YouTubers for the content they're putting out. I don't hear him doing that. So I'm not so sure people should call him. That's only my opinion. Right, negatives. Right, okay. I'll try not to be too personal here because, I'll be honest with you, I've re-recorded it because I think I got too personal and I don't want to. So there are some negatives here that I've got, but these are just from me. Doesn't mean they're right. I mean, you might be a follower of his who've loved him and seen him for years and will always be with him, but you might be big enough to say, do you know what, he's right about that, he's right about that, he's right about that, but we still like Andrew, we still like his channel, and if you do, that's great. If you want to come on my channel, have a pop at me, you can do. But have a think about what I'm saying first. As I say, none of it from my point of view is from an envious or jealous point of view. I've stated at the start, I've got, to say 1270, he's got 70 grand, 70,000 people. I'm not jealous of him. I wish I had what he's got, but he's worked at it. He's done it for 3 or 4 years. I might have that in 3 or 4 years. I might have more. I might have less. But I don't mind what he's done because he's built it up. I've got no problem there. But negatives, look, the biggest negative for me when I see Andrew is, I mean, I'll be honest with you, that laugh he's got, or that you've got, Andrew, if ever you see this, just does my head in. I've never known a bloke of 28, 29 laugh like that. It's weird. But that's you. I've got Andrew as just a boy in a man's body. It's very strange. And when I say that is, I mean, like, I say I don't want to get too personal. I don't. I mean, I've already told you about me, and I've got a couple of issues with weight and stuff. You've got some, Andrew, with yours, but I'm not surprised because, like, all you do is cakes, biscuits, milky drinks, milky coffees, milky this, milky that. The bits. The reason I stopped watching the channels is this: it's always the same locations, nearly always the same walk, often the same restaurants, but a lot do this. They do the same places. Darren John, when he goes to these places, goes to the same places. He'll go to the odd new place, but he'll go lots of the same places. Well, he might have done them 3 or 4 times. It's overkill. The Map Master, lots, same places. You're the same and same walks. I know you've got to get content out there, but there's loads of places, loads of other eating establishments there in Tenerife. It's full of them. There's loads you could go to and don't, and I don't know why you don't. What I will say, as I said at one of these early videos I did, I see Rick and Shelley, they do food reviews. They do it differently than most because they don't film themselves eating, which I like. They don't mark them and stuff. Well, I don't mind whether they mark them or not. They say, like everyone else, everything's brilliant, but I think they've been brilliant places in the main. But they have not the odd place, but in a nice way, so I like that. But what I like about them is they go places that no one else has been. I'm the same. When I eat, the places I eat, my favourite places, the bulk of them have never been reviewed by anybody, which is a shame. Because I go some places that are absolutely brilliant, but no one's been to them, but they should. And they'd have found them if they went to different places, but they go to all the same places, which is a shame. But in America even, it's always the same places. Now, the biggest thing that probably turned me off Andrew, and it's weird, and it's only personal taste and likes, and shouldn't turn me off him, but he did. You'll get up very early in the morning from your mum and dad's place on the Wirral, Liverpool, whatever it may be. They'll drive you to the airport. You're in the airport 2 or 3 hours early. You don't like Costa because you like the other one, or you don't like the other one but you like Costa. And you go on and on and on about Costa, the one you like, the one you don't. You'll always get a biscuit with it or a whatever with it, and I think, no, it's weird. I don't get people having coffee because I don't drink coffee. And when you watch your soap and they go in the local cafe for a coffee, I say, why don't they go and get one at home? They've all got kettles. But I know people have coffee with milk, and I know all of that and all the flavours. But I say I'm not a coffee drinker. But you'll always get a coffee and it's always with something else. And then you're looking at the W.H. Smiths and the this and that for the best sweets and the best toffees and the best this, which I find a little bit strange, but let me go on to that more in a moment, more detail. Then you're going on the flight and all you're talking about before you get on the flight and on being on the flight is what time you'll dock, what time you're there. Will you make one park even if it's only for 2 rides? And now look, I first went to America about a bit earlier than yourself, and I know you probably earlier than me. With your dad, you've had a few quid there, he's had a good business. You go in there now at like 28. I first went about 22, 23. And it was different for me. I've been a good few times since, but I got lucky. I won a competition, a works comp. It was 3 weeks away. I think it was a couple of weeks in Orlando and a week in Clearwater. And I loved it. And I loved the rides like you do. And I was 23, 24 then, so I was a bit younger than you. But I would have never have been thinking, well, we're going away now. What time will I make? Will I make one park for just 1 ride or 2 rides? I'd think, look, I've travelled for God knows how many hours. I'm absolutely shattered. Let's try and get something to eat. Get our bearings day 2 and go day 2. Now, that's the first time I went. So it's different for me because I knew nowhere. You know places to go now. I do now, but I didn't do then. But I can't understand for the life of me, and it's only personal taste, but I just don't get it. Our person is desperate to get on a ride that first day, to go apart to get on 1 or 2 rides. I don't think Laura's anywhere near as desperate. She goes because you lead everything. You're the governor there. But I think if you said to her, do you want to go and get some meat and go to bed? And like, well, I think she'd rather do that. But it's all about you getting your films out and you doing it for you. And it's the little boy in you there. As I say, I mean, for me, you're just a boy in a man's body. And that shows it. And I'm thinking, why is he desperate? So that I don't get. Then your first full morning there, you always go to the same location. Again, it's the coffee. Is it Costa that you like, or the other one, Starbucks? I can't remember which one you like, but they have one there. You sit on the same bench. You see the same things. You have the same thing along with your coffee. And I'm thinking, that's weird. And then the biggie for me is when you go in the big superstores over there, and I know what it's called, and it's not coming to me because I script nothing, it's not wrote down, but I know what it's called. And you go in there, and I used to love it when I first went in there because it's all new. Their big superstores are totally different than ours. But you're up and down the sweet aisles looking at all the sweets, and the cakes, and the biscuits, and the this, and the that, and the flavoured drinks. And I'm thinking, you're picking out these sweets. Oh, I've not had these ones before. Oh, I've not had these before. Oh, I can't wait for them. Oh, I'm excited by them. I'm excited. Everything that you do, you're excited by. Not this excites me, or this would excite me, or I'm going to get excited by this. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for that. And you're excited for sweets, and you're excited for cakes. And everything that you eat and where you go is amazing. I mean, Laura's even worse for that, amazing. The excited and the amazing are two words that do me head in, because they're on every single video that you do. What's it like? Amazing. Everything's amazing. Everything's amazing, and everything's being excited for. And you're picking all these sweets, and your trolley's full of things like sweets, and I'm thinking, you're a 28-year-old man, not boy, you're a man. I should be a man, and it's all about sweets. Now, I eat a bit too much chocolate from time to time, and definitely too many crisps. But I don't brag about it. I don't film things live, but I wouldn't take a film showing all the different crisps and show the ones that I like and the ones I don't. I think that's embarrassing. Or I wouldn't want people to know how many crisps I eat and whatever, although I'm telling you now, I'm being honest. I wouldn't film it. You film all the sweets and go through all the sweets you want, and I'm thinking, this is weird. And I'm thinking of 30 or 40,000 people watching this, adults in the 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s, watching a 28-year-old man salivate over sweets. I don't get it. I don't. So all those things sort of put me off. But what got me back on board was when you're doing the villas and stuff, and when you're filming those, the complex and the villas themselves, I think they're great. But again, you like the dens there with all the video games, and when they've all got superheroes on the walls, and I'm thinking, you're going mad for it, and I'm thinking, this is a bloke, video games. I know people play FIFA and all that. I've never done any of them, you see. I'm a boring old kid, that's my title, that's what I am. But superheroes and stuff, it's all not for me, and I'm thinking, it's all a bit weird. But the main rooms of the villas there, the main rooms, the dining rooms and the kitchens and this, that, the other, and the appliances and the pool area and the barbecue, I'm into all that. I like all that. But there's other stuff where I'm thinking, this is all a bit weird. And that's when I started to go off it, and I don't know. What else have we got? I mean, Laura, I won't go too deep in this because I said some things about Andrew that I've re-recorded because they're too personal, but I don't mean in a nasty way. Because I've already said about myself, so you'll guess the things I'm on about. But Laura started doing, I don't know if she's still got a channel, but she started one with beauty this and beauty that and this, that, the other. I'm thinking, she often has her hair up in bunches like Princess Leia, and it often looks like it needs work doing on it, and more condition on it and stuff, and the big eyelashes and things and whatever. And one of my daughters wears them from time to time, and I say, take them out, they look stupid. But she wears them from time to time. Laura does all the time, and I'm thinking, would you wear big things like that? So maybe you would. I don't. Maybe it's just me, folks. Maybe I'm just me. So I'm sorry. So I won't go too thinking. But when I see Laura and beauty products and beauty and hair and makeup, I think it's not the person to push it. And I'm not knocking Laura because she's only a small girl. She's a slip of a girl. Great figure, body and whatever. And he's got it on video all the time. He never films himself, but he's always filming Laura. So, she's good body shape and whatever else, and not overweight and whatever. So all that's great. But hair and makeup and beauty tips, I thought, she's not the one for it, but that's just me. So I came away from that. And these other bits and pieces, I mean, the Buddies bar and stuff, I seen bits on the bar and they did it up. And again, it weren't really for me, but I seen a couple, but most of it bored me. But it's not a bar I'd really particularly like or go in. But I know it's a bar that I'll do well, because it's only really, really small. You don't need to get many people in there. I don't think they're doing food, although they might go to bits, but the overheads won't be great. You don't need lots of people to work in there because it's such a small place, and Laura will do the bulk of it herself, because from what I've seen, she's definitely not afraid of hard work, that girl, and it's all good, good power to you. But they're not stupid, him and his dad. I know the bar will do well because he's got that many subscribers, and at the end of the day, you don't need loads of people to fill it, and with the people he's got subscribing, they'll be going all year round, it'll do well, but it's not what I would have bought. But then again, the transformation on it, I've seen it from what it was to what it is much better. But it's not what I'd really go in. But I don't know. I mean, like, there was more, but I don't really need to do more, do I? What was the more? That's it anyway. I mean, I seen the couple of videos he did as well when he came back home and he went through what he's done and how he started off and whatever. And he mentioned that he started off in a bar there and he worked his way up to head barman in the golf club. And then he worked somewhere else and he worked his way up. But I thought they weren't really workings up. None of it was a great career. He's done all right with the car place, but I don't know if it's his or his dad's or both. I don't know if his dad's money behind it. Got a decent apartment, but again, I don't know if it's his or his dad's or both. You know, the bar, I don't know if he's bought it or if his dad has. And dad's allowed to do all this, but his dad's been a dentist. He comes away as pretty shrewd, his dad. He's always over there. I mean, he goes over there and then 2 weeks later he's over there again. So he's obviously got a bit of candy, which I'm not envious of, that's fine. But I say I don't know what his dad's behind. But with the channel, I do know that he works hard, Adrian. Sorry, Andrew. Adrian, where've I got Adrian from? Andrew. You know, he puts a lot of hours in. When you see him out on the planes, he's buying data because he's on the plane all the time editing stuff. When he gets to his villa, he's editing in the mornings. He's going to bed late because he's editing. So his output's good and he does lots of work. And I say the quality's great. But I fell away from the channel just because I thought, well, I mean, I'll watch any channel for any kind of age group. But if I'm watching somebody doing reviews and whatever else, Walmart, I thought I couldn't think of Walmart. God, how could I not? And Publix. But I don't know that I want to see a bloke at 28, 29 walking up and down aisles, show me all the sweets and crisps there and show me the ones he likes, tell me about the ones he's had, tell him about the ones he'd like to have, how he's excited for them all, and how he had them last time, they were amazing. Don't know that I want that. I don't know what I want to see a bloke and a lady. I mean, he's 28, 29, she's 32, 33, buying things in Disney for themselves. So, great for kids of 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, but they're always buying t-shirts and things in Disney. I'm thinking, no, I mean, it's for them and it's great, but it's not for me. And they are the reasons I came away from the channel, I suppose, in a nutshell. But do I think it's a bad channel? No. Do I think there's quality behind it? Unbelievable quality, you know. As I say, the camera work, the pictures are great. It's pretty informative. I just wish they went to some more places that I do and I would like. And I wish they went in some more restaurants, and when they thought the food was bad or pretty poor, they were disappointed, I wish they would say it. Hemingway's, that was it, when I did the original video, got rid of it. They rave about a place called Hemingway's that does Sunday lunches, Sunday roasts. He goes there with his dad, he said it's his dad's favourite place. We went on their recommendation, it was okay. It was one of the better Sunday lunches I've had. Not brilliant, but not bad at all. And it must be a place where the movers and shakers go. Gary Lineker's brother was in there with his latest squeeze. So was old Billy Porter. I like Billy. They were both in there. I went in there with my wife and we quite enjoyed it. But we'd been a place the week before called the Winning Post, where Andrew would never think of going. Probably doesn't know it exists. It's a little bar behind the Star Bar. And it's not as upmarket and as lovely looking as Hemingway's. But we had a Sunday roast in the Winning Post. The week later, we went Hemingway's. No, we did it the other way about, thankfully. Hemingway's was the better Yorkshire pudding. The Winning Post was the better everything else. And I mean everything else. Everything was better in the Winning Post. So Andrew, if ever you see this, try there once. See what you think. Might surprise you. But it's not as fancy down as Hemingway's is. Hemingway's is a better place and better kitted out. But if I want something to eat, I go for the food. The food was better in the Winning Post. See what I mean about trying different places. As I say, you go all the same places, you know, and you never ever knock any food. And I like people that sort of are a bit more honest and, you know, go to a few places and say, no, this isn't up to scratch, or it's normally better than this. I like that side of things. But no, nothing wrong with the channel, but I found in the end that the channel probably wasn't for me. It's, you know, but these things that I really like. So every time he puts stuff out, it comes on my YouTube, whatever. And if there's one that really interests me, I'll click on it. But to see him walking up and down the prom at night time, I'm not really bothered about. And his food reviews, as I say, he goes to often the same places. And always the food's amazing, and the drinks, cocktails are amazing. So I know without watching it that everything's amazing. So again, there's no reason for me to watch it, you know. But when he goes to some different food places, and maybe the odd time when the food isn't amazing, is when I'll be happier. And that's it from me. But a few negatives there, yes, but lots of positives. Always take the positives, but that's just my thoughts. Everyone else's will be different. There's 71,000 people that'll think differently because they support him. And every right to for many, many reasons, but there's things about it that I'm not as keen on. So I'll look for things on other channels where I like more, and that's just me. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoy, and if you don't, I'm sorry.